I'll never forget that night. His tiny voice cut through the laughter at the dining table. "Daddy, it hurts." Everyone froze. He tried to sit but winced, his little hands gripping the edge of the chair. They all dismissed it, saying he was being dramatic. But I saw the truth in his eyes, the fear. That was the initial crack in the facade. I remember when I first met him. He was charm personified, polished shoes, a confident smile, the kind of man who made you feel like you were the only person in the room. I was young, naive, and yearning for forever. He made promises with soft whispers and sealed them with touches that felt like pure devotion. I built a life on those promises. A house, a family. Our son was the brightest part of it all. But I should have seen the shadows forming. It began with late nights work meetings that never ended. The glow of his phone screen turned away from me in the dark. The faint but sharp scent of a cologne that wasn't mine. I told myself I was just being paranoid. But then came the lies, small clumsy things that tripped over themselves. And then came his whisper at dinner. That was the moment the storm inside me went still, because that's where plans are born. I didn't scream or confront him. Instead, I studied him, observing every pattern, every transaction, every careless message he thought he had deleted. The truth unfolded slowly, like rot beneath wallpaper. He wasn't just unfaithful, he was reckless, bringing her into our home when I was gone, spending money meant for our son's future, leaving fingerprints of his betrayal in every corner of my life. It should have broken me, but instead, it sharpened my focus. I became methodical. While he was blinded by his own arrogance, I stayed steady. I documented everything: bank transfers, hotel receipts, hushed phone calls I recorded when he thought he was being clever. I met with a lawyer quietly and strategically, building my case piece by piece. Like loading bullets into a chamber, I didn't rush. Vengeance isn't rushed. It's patient. I wanted him to feel every second of the inevitable downfall. The night before it all came to a head, he kissed me on the cheek, smug and careless. I smiled back because by then the papers were filed. The accounts were frozen. His mistress, she thought she was winning, but she was about to watch the ground give way beneath his feet. The confrontation wasn't loud. It was at dinner again, at the same table. With our son coloring quietly across from us, I slid the envelope across the table. His hands opened it confidently until the first page stared back at him, my evidence. Neat and undeniable. His face drained of color. The smirk vanished. I watched him crumble in silence. He tried to speak, but I cut him off with a whisper. "Don't. He's watching." That silence was more powerful than any scream. What came next was merciless, but necessary. The court heard every detail. His financial betrayals laid bare, his infidelity exposed with precision. He lost custody, half his assets, and the woman he thought would stand by him. She disappeared the moment his pockets turned shallow. I didn't need to raise my voice. The truth did the work for me. Now, when my son looks at me, I see no fear, only security and trust. And him, he lives in the wreckage of his own choices. He sees me in every loss, every empty space that used to be his comfort. I don't need to gloat, because revenge isn't about noise. It's about patience. It's about watching the person who betrayed you choke on the very lies they used to build their world upon, he whispered. "Daddy, it hurts." And I promised myself he'd never have to whisper that again. Now he doesn't. And him, he whispers nothing. I took his voice the day I let the truth speak louder than he ever could.